Hi, good evening. I'm going to talk about ripening, the ripening of the fruits. In India, it's May and it's a season of mangoes. People are crazy for mangoes and they don't know what they are putting in their mouth and ultimately putting in their bodies. There are two ways uh, fruit can be ripened. One is natural process, that is through ethylene, that is a natural gas the nature produces, which induces the ripening process of a mango or a banana or a chiku or an apple. But today humans have invented artificial way of ripening the fruit through chemicals, which is known as calcium carbide, which um, produces acetylene, is similar like ethylene. Acetylene gas, when calcium carbide comes in contact with moisture or with water. So the gas acetylene induces the fruits to ripen. So that is what most of the business circles do. And but there are health hazards. Naturally ripened fruit is good for you, but artificially ripened fruit is bad for you. We all know that. Anyway, ripening is a process in fruits that causes them to become more palatable. In general, fruit becomes sweeter, less green, and softer as it ripens. Even though the acidity of fruit increases as it ripens, the higher acidity level does not make the fruit seem tartar or sour. This is attributed to the Brix acid ratio. Ripening agents speed up the ripening process. They allow many fruits to be picked prior to full ripening, which is useful since ripened fruits do not ship well. They don't have long shelf life. For example, bananas are picked when green and artificially ripened after shipment by being gassed with ethylene with calcium carbide chemical. Calcium carbide is also used in some countries for artificially ripening fruit. In India, yes, it is used every time, everywhere, on every fruit. When calcium carbide comes in contact with moisture or water, it produces acetylene gas, which is quite similar in its effects to the natural ripening agent ethylene. Acetylene acts like ethylene and accelerates the ripening process. Industrial grade calcium carbide may also contain traces of arsenic and phosphorus, which makes it a human health concern. The use of this chemical for this purpose is illegal in most of the countries, also in India, but enforcement is not going on. Catalytic generators are used to produce ethylene gas simply and safely. Ethylene sensors can be used to precisely control the amount of gas given to the unripening fruits. Covered fruit ripening bowls are commercially available. The manufacturers claim the bowls increase the amount of ethylene and carbon dioxide gases around the fruit, which promotes ripening. Climacteric fruits are able to continue ripening after being picked, a process accelerated by ethylene, artificial gas. Non-climacteric fruits can ripen only on the plant and thus have a short shelf life if harvested when they are ripe. Some fruits can be ripened by placing them in a plastic bag with the ripe banana. Iodine can be used to determine whether fruit is ripening or rotting by showing whether the starch in the fruit has turned into sugar. For example, a drop of iodine on a slightly rotten part of an apple will stay yellow or orange since starch is no longer present. If the iodine is applied and takes 2 to 3 seconds to turn dark blue or black, the, then the process of ripening has begun but is not yet complete. If the iodine becomes black immediately, then the most of the starch is still present at high concentrations in the sample, and hence the fruit hasn't fully started to ripen. Climacteric fruits undergo a number of changes during fruit ripening. The major changes include fruit softening, sweetening, decreased bitterness, and color change. Color change is the result of pigments which were always present in the fruit becoming visible when chlorophyll is degraded. However, additional pigments are also produced by the fruit as it ripens. In fruit, the cell walls are mainly composed of polysaccharides, including pectin. During ripening, a lot of the pectin is converted from a water insoluble form to a soluble one by certain degrading enzymes. These enzymes include polygalactotornase. This means that the fruit will become less firm as the structure of the fruit is degraded. Enzymatic breakdown and hydrolysis of storage polysaccharides occurs during ripening. The main storage polysaccharides include starch. These are broken down into shorter water-soluble molecules such as fructose, glucose, and sucrose. During fruit ripening, gluconeogenesis also increased. Acids are broken down in ripening fruits, and this contributes to the sweeter rather than sharp taste associated with the unripe fruits. In some fruits, such as guava, there is a steady decrease in vitamin C as the fruit ripens. This is mainly as a result of the general decrease in acid content that occurs when a fruit ripens. Different fruits have different ripening stages. So, according to the need of the length of time which a fruit takes to ripen, the ripening chemicals also equally should be used. For a shorter ripening fruit, you use less chemicals, even though it is not recommended, but the practice going on in India, almost 95% of the fruit is ripened through artificial process, through chemicals called calcium carbide. So watch out there, and it's your health we are talking about, and try to investigate before you buy any fruit. And you should educate yourself, and you should be equipped with some skills to identify a fruit, whether it's artificially ripened or naturally ripened. It's a very simple technique, and by learning that, I think you are enjoying mangoes more, and you are eating them, and they are benefiting to your health. Ignorance is the cause of all evil, and you go and buy any fruit and you put it in your mouth, and you are risking your own health. So now be careful out there and stay away from calcium carbide. Have a wonderful time with mango season. Enjoy.